Football fans. Sometimes they're hilarious, sometimes they're horrible, and sometimes they're a perfect mix of the two. In honour of today's guest, I've whipped out the old De Bruyne shirt. Ciarán, welcome to the channel.
Hello.
Are you excited to make your debut?
I'm very excited. I brought along, instead of a City shirt, I've gone for my other team. Yes, I got two teams. I've got Schalke. Please ignore the Gazprom. I don't know how to get rid of it.
But yeah, we're going to be rating all of the most famous, infamous, and just downright funny moments from football's 12th man. I want to start things off with a very recent thing, actually. The stewards at Millwall just letting this bloke gander past them. It's just so nonchalant.
I'll go to a City game and, like, you see a steward on the stairs and you're like, what are you going to do, honestly? You're not paid enough to try and take down a 45-year-old man 10 drinks in, saying some sort of slur.
I personally think this should be either fantastic content or quite enjoyable.
I'm owing to the quite enjoyable.
Yeah, starting off nicely in the middle ground there. Okay, for this next one, I'd like to take us all back to Euro 2020. I'd like to introduce Charizard into proceedings. Okay, where do we start with this?
It's phenomenal. Everything about it. I'm pretty sure in another shot he's got a bag of talcum powder. This is the following shot. Just incredible. A flare up your ass. It makes you proud. It brings a tear to the eye.
It just fills you with patriotic pride, doesn't it?
I think personally for me this is truly inspiring.
Next up, going back to the Euros once again, the crying German girl.
Nice. You know what? It's funny. It just is. It's a child crying at football. Football matters, but it doesn't really if you think about it. It swings and roundabouts. In 10 years time, she'll do a TikTok which is like, this embarrassing picture of me, and it'll cut to that, and then she'll get 1 million views on TikTok, and then it'll be worth it, won't it?
Where do we want to put her?
I think it's fantastic content.
Next, I want to throw in one of the true classic fan moments. Like, he has to make an appearance, doesn't he?
I hate this prick with a passion. Maybe not necessarily him, but because it was constantly like,
you've got no friends!
The nice sport City, so it was just endless like troll football accounts and just absolute toilet like that.
This one, like, obviously was very funny at the time, 10 years ago or so, but like nowadays it's kind of, whenever it gets referenced, it's kind of like, it's time to move on.
Also, there's absolutely no way he's winning a scrap against anyone. The German girl would beat him.
You can see from the camera angle, the guy filming him is much larger than him.
Yeah, you have to aim it down. It feels a bit meh.
Back in his prime, top level, but a little bit meh these days. So this next moment, it's not really a fan moment, but I'm classing it as one. Do you remember the Darren Bent beach ball goal?
It was thrown by a fan.
That's why I think it counts as one. You know, there's literal footage of the little kid throwing the ball onto the pitch. I think that lost them the game as well.
Imagine being able to say, oh, I lost a Premier League game. I might do that in the next City game. They start throwing to Edison. I'm like, I'm sorry, mate, I want the clout.
For the cultural impact that this had, I'm tempted to put it in fantastic content for that reason. So this next one's actually a bit of a two-parter. First of all, in 2012, an Everton fan decided to handcuff himself to the Everton goalposts. But then 10 years later in 2022, I think it's Lewis McKennie from Just Stop Oil decides to go and tie himself to an Everton goalpost.
The t-shirt feels quite obvious now, doesn't it? And mate, he's holding a knife in the crowd. You know, like when, like in a film where it's like, is anyone on this plane a pilot? But instead, like, this guy's like, I've got a knife, use this knife, I've got a knife, mate. I like the steward's innocence of not thinking like, now he's waving a knife about, just thinking like, oh, I could use that.
I also just wanted another excuse to throw this clip into proceedings. It's just the look on the guy's face as he's like trying to hack the zip tie off.
It's the strangest thing. Just
where do we want to put Everton fans and their obsession with goalposts?
I feel like I do fantastic content.
And in the spirit of Everton fan moments, I'd like to throw in Vieira versus the Everton fans next.
This was, you know, it's alright. It's someone fighting back, defending his honour in the only way a footballer knows how, by using his feet.
Yeah, he absolutely knuckleballed that Everton fan.
The swaz on that kick. I hate people like that. To avoid copycats, I'd put it as just plain silly. However, the photo from his phone of Vieira's face is incredibly funny. I'd put that in truly inspired.
There we go, let's go with this one instead, just so we can see it in all its glory. We can throw Vieira up in the truly inspired, and then we can throw the incident itself down in just plain silly.
Yeah, that feels like the best course of action.
It's a clip I've used in videos before, but I think it needs to be mentioned again. Ronaldo versus that kid's phone.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
It has kind of faded from memory a lot, considering like how spectacular it was at the time.
What was he trying to do? Was he just filming him?
He was like filming Ronaldo walking down the tunnel while like shouting insults at him.
The slapping of the phone is justified, but then didn't he offer like oh, you can come watch United in a booth? And it's just like, he doesn't support United. Like, why would you do that? I think a bit meh. It's fine, but I'll forget about it. I think that's what happened.
Keeping with the Ronaldo theme of things, I don't know if you've seen this fan that tried to get on the pitch and kiss Ronaldo.
I have not seen that.
Alright, let's roll the footage.
Why is he trying to lip sim? What's going on? That's Carl Jenkinson. They're 3-0 down as well. With a man sent off.
And then someone tries to get him on the bench as well. What is wrong with people? Where do we want to put man trying to kiss Ronaldo?
I'd put it in quite enjoyable for the fact of the score line. Really pushes it over the edge. It's a bit dark. It's not dark. Well, it is dark. Someone was murdered. They popped him in a coffin and they kicked the ball off the coffin in the goal. But in all honesty, the goalkeeper should save it. Should do much better.
Yeah, completely wrong-footed the keeper.
Should have saved it. It was an easy collection. No, it's quite sad. Feel bad now.
It's a very wholesome moment, but at the same time, it's kind of odd.
It's really strange, but when I think about it, I'd like to go like that. I only go for fantastic content to try and inspire more. Not more murdered teenagers, but more football-related funerals.
So this next one, it's not really one moment, it's more a collection of moments. Just Arsenal fan TV as a whole.
It's time to go!
They've got some absolute classics, like DT getting his hat stolen while going on a passionate rant.
I think DT's mugshot should count. He's wearing Arsenal training gear. He's on brand even when he's doing that.
I'd potentially put Arsenal fan TV in Truly Inspired.
I respect the hustle. People get annoyed at them, but I'm like, you know what? Fair play. They're the true trailblazers.
Arsenal fan TV, for all the wrong reasons, they're up in Truly Inspired. For the next one, I'd like to throw in a personal favourite. Thogdad versus the ESL.
Just the way his jacket is just hanging off him, it's just incredible.
Why does it feel like a grime video?
ESL! 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 ESL!
It's a little pause at the beginning as well when you can see the idea formulating in his head.
Right, where are we putting Thogdad?
Truly inspired. Truly inspired.
Absolutely. Next, I'd like to go for another personal favourite. The most iconic deadline day clip ever, surely.
The pre-planning for this is quite impressive.
Yeah, a lot of thought's gone into this. Like, this isn't spontaneous. I'm just looking at the photo. There's literally a 12-year-old kid behind him as well.
This is horrific. I'd actually put it in quite enjoyable. It was really funny, but we now don't get any more funny moments because they've just removed the fans. It was one step too far.
The Gunnosaurus chant.
Oh, yeah.
Gunnosaurus, peanut funny, Tyson little children, takes them to the Emirates for sexually abusing.
Oh, why is he like joining in? What's going on? That's really good. That's really funny, to be fair. I think that's fantastic content. Usually anything with a mugging off a mascot is just funny.
This might be a niche one. The West Ham fans stacking it while trying to catch Mark Noble's shirt. The reason I know about this is because I happened to watch it live.
Oh my word!
I think there's a kid he's trying to throw it to, and this absolute gammon just tries to like dive in front and take it from this kid, and then he just absolutely stacks it. Obviously this isn't a very famous moment, but it's just incredible.
I'll put it in quite enjoyable.
Yeah, because it's not a massive one, but it is just funny. The bloke taking the photo of Agbon Law after he stacks it.
Takes a second to clock and then takes out like the oldest camera, but not a phone, and then just like he's just seen a pasty.
It's just the most British thing ever.
Yeah, zero sympathy, but I'd put that in Truly Inspired.
I agree with that. It's simple but elegant. Some Barnsley fans ran onto the pitch in a game against Man U and went and scored themselves a goal in the 90th minute. Oh yeah, he tries to take a goal kick, that's it.
Yeah, he tries to save it.
And then it's a beautiful volley, and the crowd goes absolutely wild.
Imagine Ben Foster actually saving it though. You get all that, you jump on the pitch, you're going to get a football banning order. You don't even score.
Where do we reckon that should go?
I'll put it in a just plain silly. I'm using the just plain silly as like, it's actually just plain silly, rather than it being less than a bit meh.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's funny, but it's also, yeah, it's just stupid. When football came back after COVID, and they had all the games like without the fans, Leeds had this really nice idea of, you know, having fans like pay for cardboard cutouts of themselves to sit at the seats at Ellen Road. Someone decided to pay for a cardboard cutout of Bin Laden to sit in literally like the first couple of rows, like behind the goal as well.
Whoever's putting them out, who isn't aware of Bin Laden? Like, who wouldn't be like, hang on a minute, to be able to get through multiple people, to get it printed off, and then to get it put up, and no one clock it. That's nailed on fantastic content for me.
Eric Dyer taking to the stands to fight the fan. I think a Tottenham fan was hurling abuse at Eric Dyer's brother, so Eric took to the stands to go and confront this man.
Mourinho backed him on this. I respect it. I think it is a quite enjoyable moment.
So for my next submission, it's got to be, that's disgusting.
Yes, get it in the spine, put it straight in there.
Well, you just knew that was going to happen. That was going to happen. That's disgusting. Disgusting.
Goodness me, the top comment is, for anyone wondering, the Chester fan shouts, Scotty's in a box, in a box. Scotty was a Wrexham fan that died in his sleep prior to the game. That is horrific, yet I did laugh.
Yeah, it's just such a chaotic clip. That definitely deserves to go right up in Truly Inspired. Again, I think this is probably a pretty niche one. Fans at a game in Denmark threw dead rats at the player trying to take a corner.
Where do you get them?
Yeah, points for creativity.
Oh, look at it. Oh, the little thing. Why has he kicked it like that? It's not the rat's fault.
It's just the way it like spins away like a Beyblade for me.
That's awful. I think it might be fantastic content, horrifically. I've never seen anything like it.
So this is a pitch invasion by Man City fans in the, I think it was a 1993 FA Cup quarter-finals. Tottenham were 4-2 up against Man City. In the 88th minute, Man City managed to pull one back to make it 4-3. But the Man City fans, instead of, you know, letting their team see if they could go and grab a late equaliser while they've got the momentum, they decide to go and launch a pitch invasion. Basically, they think that by launching this pitch invasion, they can get the game abandoned so they can have another go at Tottenham on another day. And then, yeah, just the referee just stops the game for 12 minutes and then plays the last couple of minutes out.
This feels like the most City thing ever. We also once, I'm pretty sure, we thought we just needed a draw or something to not get relegated. We just drew and then we got relegated. It's just eternally, like, tragic.
Where do we reckon the old pitch invasion of 93 goes?
I'm gonna put in just plain silly. I hadn't actually ever heard of that one, but I'm not surprised that no one talks about that one. In pitch invasion sort of relation fashion, I have one to send you. Yeah, get in there, fella. He's trying his best. He's cutting about like a Dalek. He nearly makes it through, to be fair to him. I think it's quite obvious where this should go. I think there's a nice juicy spot in top bins where the owl sleeps and Truly Inspired.
So here we have the final lineup for all of the greatest fan moments in world football. Are you happy with that?
Oh, 100%. I can't stop looking at Vieira, to be honest.
I want to say a massive thank you to Ciarán for featuring in this video and helping me put this list together.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been very good fun.
I guess all I have to say is, if you're thinking of doing most of the things that we've covered in this video today, don't.